In this video, we are going to add a subset of feature layers from a feature service to our web map. So open up the Add Subset Layers to WebMap.py script from the WebMap content folder. Before we begin, if you have encountered that error with the subtype group table that we saw towards the end of the previous video, you can use the before adding subset.py script from the jump in points folder to recreate the web map as is before going through this video. Once more, we are going to use the map object content property, which returns a map content object, to allow us to add a layer to our web map. We first access ArcGIS Online. We then use the content manager get method and supply in our web map item ID. This will return an item object that represents our feature service. I'm going to grab my web map item ID from my notepad and paste in. Once we have our item object, we can create our map object from our web map item and assign that to a variable called webmap. We are going to use our NPWS designated boundaries feature service that contains 4 layers, and we only want to add one of those 4 layers to our web map. Again, we use the content manager get method and supply in our feature service item ID. I have that in my notepad. You can also go grab it from ArcGIS Online and paste in. We now have our feature service as an item object. We want to select a specific layer and create a feature layer object and add that to our web map. We can use the item object layers property. When the item is a feature service, you can access the feature layers individually if you know the index of the layer that you desire. Here we are going to use list comprehension to get our feature layer based on the title of the layer. We'll create a variable called FL for feature layer, and we will start our list comprehension. So for each layer in our NPWS feature service item layers list, if the feature layer properties name is equal to NPWS underscore bio underscore PNHA underscore PLY, then we want that specific layer. This comprehension always returns a list, and we are only interested in the first item returned, and that will be our feature layer object for our PNHA layer. Now we use the map object content property and add that feature layer to the web map. Because we're using a function to add or update our web map, we need to call the map object update method and update the web map to commit those changes. Now before running the script, I'll pop on over to ArcGIS Online. Here we have the current state of our web map. We can see we have our county boundaries layer, NIAH locations, and then our group layer for our NPWS. And we are adding in another PNHA layer, and this will sit on top of county boundaries. We'll head back over to PyScripter and let's run our script. Our script is complete. Let's head over to ArcGIS Online and check the result. When I refresh the page, we are expecting that a new layer will sit on top of this county boundaries layer. So I'll refresh now, and we can see that that layer is now on top of the county boundaries layer. We added the PNHA layer from our NPWS feature service to our web map. And we can see once more that we have this error for this subtype group table for our NIAH table. This bug is a real pain, so I cannot wait for the updated version of the API. For now, we can use the Python scripts in the jump in points folder to rapidly recreate our web maps. In this video, we saw how we could grab a single feature layer from a hosted feature service that had multiple feature layers to choose from and add it to our web map.